So now he's laughing at him and Wolfgang's like, what have you done to me? Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays and welcome back to my After series, which is the sequel to my Shipwrecked survival challenge. So when we left the last part, Kai's girlfriend Morgan was pregnant. In fact, secret fiance now. And Kano had de-aged himself to be a teen. I have downloaded the mod that in theory lets you pick your classmate, and it seems to be working for every sim except Kano. I don't know if that's because he's famous, but I'm going to test it again tomorrow. We'll see how we go. It's Monday afternoon. Malachi knows how upset Kai is, and he's sort of trying to distract him at the moment with a little bit of basketball. Also, the baby has been born. I named her Mirabelle, which was actually a name suggested, I think, by KittyPop28 for a different series. It was suggested for Medieval. And I think the reason they suggested it was probably because we had a sim called Mira in that series and it was to be named after Mira. And I get that, but I thought it was a really pretty name and I wanted to use it. And I also like the idea of Morgan and a Mirabelle. I like the alliteration. She's still an infant. We haven't seen her. Or a newborn, sorry. I don't think we will. Like, maybe when she ages up to an infant, I might pop over there and, like, show you guys. But Kai will not be involved in that visit. Now, something else I wanted to catch you guys up on. Malachi's actually having a midlife crisis. So looking at the things he needs to do, go to work focused. He doesn't actually have a job. He has been working from home. I've been having him make bathtubs and things. So he does handiness at home. So he technically has a job in inverted commas. I've been treating it like freelance carpentry. So I'm kind of thinking of ignoring that. Purchase 3 expensive paintings. Apparently we already have one. That's funny. Eat a gourmet meal and buy a hot tub. We could just focus on doing other things. I don't think you have to like do everything. On the Tilly front, she's actually entered a phase, but I think it was the instrument one. So be loud, play instruments, that particular phase. Maybe she thinks it'll impress Kano. I don't know. Ooh, there's a kid here. Come and say hello. Do a friendly introduction. I assume it's someone that she would know oh, hang on, wait. Is that our cousin? I think that's Harper. Aged child disabled. Why is aging disabled for you? Oh, because they're an active household. That explains why Audrey's still alive, to be honest with you. I was wondering. I was like, she should be dead by now. She was an elder. I'm still also waiting for this aspiration. I don't know how you get these party invites. If you guys know, let me know. I've got the window. All right, we've arrived at school and once again, Kano isn't here. So I've just summoned him. And what I'm going to try and do when he arrives, because I know the summoning did work yesterday, is I'm going to actually add him to the family. I don't know that he'll still be able to do school-based things, but at least he might, I might be able to control him and have him, walk around the campus and stuff. Add to family. He presumably won't have school requirements if I do this. Yeah, so she's got a school day thing. He doesn't. I don't know if he can prank the whiteboard. So he may be able to attend class. And it's put him in the football team. See, what I did was the mod lets you choose people to be in specific roles. So I put Kano in the football team. He's just not showing up to participate in the football team. So I don't know what's happening. It's fine. It's fine. I also don't know why he's sad. Maybe he's sad because he hasn't seen Tilly for a couple of days. Let's go with that. She's feeling super confident. She is pumped. So he's gone into the bathroom. She would have actually seen him. So I'm going to have her come over here. What? Now the principal's calling saying, why aren't you at school? This is wild. Yeah, she's like, what's the matter? And he's saying he's feeling sad. Maybe something else has happened. I'm not sure. It's unfortunate he has a motion bomb. I'm wondering if I should take that off. So the way the mod works, the choosing your classmates, you can, in theory, choose students to just be in the general student body, but apparently that's not super reliable. And you choose roles for Sims. So you've got like the chess club member, and because the game, so that people can join the different clubs, like when you're playing, you need someone to represent each of those clubs. So the game has been coded so that you have to have someone for each of the clubs. And also the mean kid. There's no popular kid, which I thought was interesting. I guess that's the cheerleader club. I'm not sure, but the upshot is I assigned him as the football club member because I thought that should lock in his attendance, but it's not working. He at least is here, and he's attending class and learning about Salvadorada, which would be quite interesting to him, I expect. There's like deities and stuff and a temple, and he'd be vibing with that, I expect. He'd be like, oh no, yeah, no temple, that'd be good. And now he's like, have you seen this thing? It's apparently called a phone. And Yuki's sitting there like, you're an idiot, mate. He's like, why do you do this? And she's like, well, my parents say I have to. So he's trying to understand the concept of school. You have to sit in these rooms that smell faintly of body odor and listen to somebody drone on about stuff. And she's like, yeah, I know. I mean, my parents keep talking about how you need to like get a job when you finish. You need a diploma, a high school diploma to do that. So she's explaining all of that. And he's like, you don't need a job though, because you're going to come and be my priestess. And she's like, well, even if that's true, Kano, being your priestess doesn't, oh my God, it doesn't pay the bills. I said to travel there. Are we going to do it? We didn't do it. I hate this pack sometimes. She's come up and she's like, hey. I feel like Tilly would be not happy about that. Be friendly, but I think there'll be an edge to that. Don't leave that guitar behind. It's your brother's. He stole it. She's come over to insert herself into this conversation because they're just having a casual discussion, and I guess everyone else has gone to career day and we're skipping it because that didn't work. Oh, he's flirting with her. She's like, yeah, but I can't, if I'm your priestess, I can't, eat. And I need to have somewhere to live and stuff. He's like, well, you could live in the old house your family used to live in before. She's like, look, I want to be able to come back and see my family. That means I kind of need to engage with the modern world. And from what I remember of your world, there's no crossing. Like, the only reason we got back was ultimately because you and Via put your heads together and, like, sort of ripped us back. And he's like, well, we could do that again. And she's like, didn't that take a lot of energy and stuff? Like, because Via would have done it sooner if she could have. And he's like, yeah, it did. And she's like, well, you're not going to want to do that all the time. So, maybe it would be better if I was your priestess in Sulani, not in Muapalam. And then you could come visit me. And he's like, yeah, but then where do you live? And she's like, that's my point. This is why I need to finish school. Because, I can't just live in it. I mean, I could live in a shack. I kind of have. But, yeah. So she's trying to explain all of that. I love that the cleaners just come in. It's like, these kids are weird. Because these two haven't gone to career day and everyone else has. They're kind of on their own. They have the run of the school. Oh, Kano likes stories. Oh, Kano can't get enough of the stories Tilly tells, especially that last one. Yeah, I like that it's anchored in Tilly, though. There is a pool here, right? They could swim together. So, yeah, she's climbing in to swim laps with him. She's going to have a terrible school day, though. And he had no kind of school day because he didn't even attend. I'm thinking I'm going to have to actually, before I tell her to go to school, basically invite him over beforehand and add him to the family, which is super not realistic because he wouldn't come to the house. All right, Robin's done with school. End of day report. She seemed a little inattentive in class. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I'm going to get him to... Hang on. Why is she... Awesome. So it's the end of the school day and Tilly's I've decided she's going to just sit here and watch him. She's feeling a bit frustrated that she kind of can't get through to him. I'm assuming that's why she's swearing. And now she's planning on practicing the guitar again, so that's fun. All right, Tilly's like, I'm going to head off because she's just walked out of the room. And he's cued a romantic interaction. So I'm going to have him follow, I guess. So she's coming. She's going to go talk to Wolfgang, apparently. Cassandra's talking to the principal. Wolfgang's talking to this teacher. And he's like, maybe he's getting stuck into her over the whole guitar thing. He's like, you are such a poser, Tilly. And she's like, how dare you? He's like, whatever. You're so boring. Come over here. Now, I'm going to get, because I did say Kano was following. He's just walking around in his swimmers. He's like, why? What's the problem? So he's coming in and he's seeing Tilly in an argument with Wolfgang. No, buddy, there's no way. There is literally no way you would walk away from this. Come over here. So he's watching. He's like, who is this young man who dares to speak to Tilly that way? He would not abide that. So she's swearing and then he's like, how dare. Kano apparently has decided to do that first. He's just gotten straight into it. He's like put a curse on Wolfgang, which I didn't even know what that spell did. So the spell was Strangify because he is a spellcaster. Kano is a spellcaster. That's how he's been built. So now he's laughing at him and Wolfgang's like, what have you done to me? there's no way this teacher would just stand there during that. So the teachers can't actually, Kano's vomiting because he's got that particular spell on him. The teachers can't actually interact with Kano because he's a celebrity, but I've just had him cast Deliriate on each of the teachers, which I'm assuming makes them a bit confused. You looking all right? Okay, so he's kind of dazed and wandering around, so he didn't see anything. She's like, Kano! And so she's kind of dragged him out to the gym, and he's feeling very proud of himself. She doesn't want to fight with him. Like, she can't imagine anything worse, but she's like, you can't just do that, Kano. It's like, what do you mean? That boy was rude to you. And she's like, there's a question of responding like with like proportionality. I'm not sure she'd use that word, but that's basically what she's saying. She's like, you can't overreact. If someone's mean to you, you can be mean back. You know, if someone's trying to hurt you, I think for me personally, I think it's okay to hurt them back to stop them hurting you, like, and defending yourself. For me, I don't think that's particularly unreasonable. Now, I will say I don't think other members of her family would agree with her. That is her attitude. So if he shouts at me, I'll shout back. That's fine. I can stick up for myself. But what you did, what did you even do? And he's like, it's a curse. It'll wear off. She's basically saying, look, Kano, you can't do that kind of thing. He's like, well, I'm sorry. I thought he was hurting you and I wanted to hurt him back. I wasn't really thinking about it. I just wanted to hurt him. So she's saying, look, if you're not sure, like when something like that happens, until you kind of get your feet out here in the rest of the world, maybe just check in with me before you do stuff. And he's like, look, I'll try, but I was angry. And she's like, I get that, but you're going to hurt people. Like, you could very easily have killed Wolfgang. Like, I know you can do it. I know you can, like, throw magma bombs around and all kinds of things. He's like, well, I didn't kill him. And he's quite proud of himself. He's like, I mean, I thought I demonstrated some restraint. She's like, okay, but just check in with me, all right? And he's like, okay. So they're reconciling their argument, which is great. He kind of doesn't understand, stop playing the guitar. He's like, I defended you, and that's my job. And he's got a very kind of cut and dry opinion, but he's agreeing with Tilly that he'll restrain himself from reacting without checking in with her first. The other thing that he's going to ask her, he's like, if I should react in kind to what people do, if that's what you're saying, what's an appropriate response to the Sims that polluted Mulpalam? Like, if I met them, what would be an appropriate response? And she's kind of like, well, we fixed that. And he's like, yeah, but if they did it again, I'm talking hypothetically, Tilly. And she's like, is Mulpalam okay? And he's like, yeah, no. This is hypothetical. If they polluted my world again, what would be appropriate? And she's like, well, something that would stop them. I wouldn't, like, not don't kill them or whatever, but you could stop them. And he's like, okay, that's a little bit unnerving, putting that kind of seed into her head. But now what I'm going to do, because it's like 9 p.m. and she hasn't been home, I'm going to remove him from the family and I'm going to send her home. Poor Wolfgang. I don't know how long Stranger Fire lasts. I knew it was a curse. I didn't know it was going to turn him green and gross. All right, Tilly's come home. She didn't realize how late it was. She completely lost track of time. These two have heard her, and I didn't realize they were basically in the same winter outfit. That's hilarious. They're like, where have you been? We've been trying to contact you. And she's, I'm sorry, I didn't hear my phone. Would I say they have a difficult family dynamic? Yeah, I would actually. She's saying, we were so worried about you. We thought something had happened. Now that Kano knows where we are, anything could have happened. He could have kidnapped you. And she's like, he wouldn't do that. Matilda's like, he 100% would. Tilly, you are naive about that man, or that creature. For you to just leave us worried about where you were is very irresponsible. That's not fair, Mum. I was at school. I was studying late. I'm falling behind and I'm worried about my grades. He's like, no, your mother's right, Tilly. That is... It was very irresponsible of you to let us just be worrying about you. Parenting, ask about phase, influence. Why can we not? Oh, it's probably because Tilly hasn't technically actually done anything to warrant it. So I guess I need to have Tilly yell at them. So Tilly's like, You guys are just, you don't understand the pressure I'm under at school and stuff. So now, hopefully, discipline, punish, ground. And they're going to set a curfew as well. It's going to be ridiculously early. So we're going to say, we're going to say 9 p.m. She did come home after 9. No TV, no computer. It's going to be no leaving the house, right? Obviously. No friends. Harsh. No phone, music. Okay, it's definitely no leaving the house. They're like, you can't disrespect us like this. You're a member of this family and we expect you to act your age. You're not a child anymore. So Tilly's storming off. She's quite angry, also feeling confident. How are we even family? So she stomped up to her room. They're so mean to me. Nobody understands. And she's like basically going to write in her journal. And then what I'm going to do, I know you can hide it. I think when this is in your inventory, you can hide it. I think they put it in their bed. So she's going to do that. Now, I did hide the picture here. Obviously, the Sims could actually see that if they came in and were like making her bed or whatever. What I'm imagining is this is actually folded into the pages of her journal and she's going to hide the two of them together. So yeah, she's writing in her diary about how unfair her parents are and also talking about what happened that day and she can't believe what Kano did to Wolfgang, and maybe a tiny little part of her is like, maybe Mum's right. Maybe he is a little bit out of control sometimes, Kano, and how could he kidnap me? And she's like, no, he wouldn't. If he could, he would have done it already. Let's be real. He's putting a lot of pressure on her, but he hasn't actually forced her to do anything. So she's going to hide her diary and then, I guess, go to bed. Now, I'm just going to watch what actually happens. Where does she put it? I have done this interaction once and I thought they put it under their bed. Wait, she can't hide it in their bedroom. That doesn't make sense at all. All right, what I'm going to do instead is I'll put it here myself and we'll say it's hidden in the bed. They're all disrespecting me, all of my Sims. As far as his midlife crisis goes, just to catch you guys up, I did end up buying the paintings. These are custom content paintings that cost about $1,200 each. I also bought the hot tub. I put the hot tub out here. This is where the telescope was. And I've moved that over here. Maybe I could get him and Matilda to use it real quick. I'm going to have these guys sort of catch up and like, they're like, did we overreact with Tilly? And telling each other, no, they didn't, which to be fair, they didn't. Grounding her for not coming home and not contacting them for hours and hours after school ends, especially under the circumstances. She's like, hey, maybe it wasn't such a bad idea getting this hot tub after all. He's like, I know, right? His midlife crisis, all of his objectives now are career. This is quite a cute view. They're all career-based. Where did she go? One of the things he wants to do is actually get a freelance job. So I'm thinking I might have him actually do that. So go to work focus, get a promotion, start a new freelance job, or become a 2-star celebrity. They're his midlife crisis goals right now. I could see him doing a freelance job. I don't know if there's a working focused one, but if there's something that kind of uses handiness, I could see that. Don't look out the window, kids. Just don't look out the window. Oh, looks like they're done. I'm looking out the window now. I'm going to leave this part here, you guys. I'd love to hear what you think of everything that's going on. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.